Alright, this video is going to be on long division of polynomials. So, long division is no different than normal long division. So, if you say 5 is divided into 123, we would do long division, kind of the old school way. So, we would take 5 and see how many times it goes into 1, and that's no times. Then we take 5 and see how many times it goes into 12, and that would be 2 times. And so then we do 2 times 5, which is 10, and then we would subtract, and that'd be 23. And then we would say, okay, now how many times does 5 go into 23? And we'd say 4 times. And so then 4 times 5 is 20. And then we subtract and we get 3. And then this is your remainder. And with your remainder, we'd put 3 over 5. So 123 divided by 5 is 24 3/5. We can do the same thing with polynomials. So for example, let's take x cubed plus 3x squared minus x minus 3, and let's divide it by x minus 1. Okay, and let's see what happens. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll put x minus 1 on the outside, and then we'll put x cubed plus 3x squared minus x minus 3 on the inside. And now we're just going to do some long division. The way we do that is we take a look at the leading terms, so x cubed and x. And so we say, what is x cubed divided by x? And that would equal x squared. And so I'm going to put that over its like term. You don't have to see, you're not asking necessarily, well, how does x minus 1 go into the whole thing? You don't want to try and do that all at once. What you want to do is just look at the leading terms. So that's why I did x cubed divided by x, and I got x squared. Then, like over here, when I had 2 and I multiplied by 5 to get 10, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take x squared and I'm going to multiply by x minus 1 to see what needs to go underneath the polynomial. And so x squared times x is x cubed, and then x squared times negative 1 is negative x squared. Then normally we would subtract down, but since it's polynomials, my suggestion to everybody is always to change the signs and add down, because adding the opposite is the same as subtracting. And so x cubed plus negative x cubed would be 0. That goes away. And then 3x squared plus positive 1x squared would be 4x squared. And then you bring everything down as you would in a normal problem. You bring everything down. I guess you would only bring one term down the next term, but in this case I want you to bring everything down. Then you do it all over again. So now you say, okay, what goes into 4x squared, and what goes in, or what's 4x squared divided by x, and we would get 4x. And so I'm going to put that over its like term, so plus 4x. And then I'm going to multiply it by x minus 1. So x minus 1 times 4x. Distribute. Make sure you distribute well. That'd be 4x squared minus 4x. And then we're going to change the signs and add down. So these cancel out, and then I get negative x plus positive 4x. So that'd be 3x, and then I bring the minus 3 down. And there we have it. And we are going to do this one more time. How does 3x go into x, or how does x go into 3x? So you would have 3x over x, which is just 3, so plus 3. And then I multiply 3 times x minus 1, and that would be 3x minus 3. And when I change the signs, minus and plus, and I add down, I end up with 0. And if the remainder is 0, great for us. And so that means that it divided evenly, and our answer is x squared plus 4x plus 3. Alright, let's take a look at one more where you might have to supply a 0. So let's look at x to the 4th. Alright, divided, or x to the 4th plus 3x squared minus 18 divided by x minus 2. Let's do that by long division, okay? Actually, let's make it more exciting. Let's do like x squared minus 2. Alright, gonna get crazy. So you have your long division box, and you have x squared minus 2. And on the inside, you'd have x to the fourth. But do you notice how there's no x cubed? You actually want to put that in. So plus 0x cubed. And then notice it goes down. You want it to go down by 1 at a time.
Attention,
So
students. Isabella
3x
Cosenza,
squared
your ride will be waiting for you
plus
by the tennis court.
0x
Isabella Cosenza, your ride will be waiting
minus
for you by the
18.
tennis court.
Sweet, that was an announcement. It'll have to stay. But we've got x squared minus 2, and then inside the parentheses, as you can see, I've supplied these zeros because you want to have these place markers so you can put like terms over them if you need them. We may not end up using them, I'm not sure, but we want to have them just in case. And then the rest of the problem goes as follows. We're going to look at the leading terms, and so we're going to do x to the fourth over x squared. You subtract the exponents, so 4 minus 2 is 2, so x squared. So I'm going to put x squared over that guy. So it looks like I'm not going to need this x cubed, but had it just for safekeeping. So x squared minus 2 is what we're going to multiply by. Distribute would give me x to the fourth, and then minus 2x squared. I'm going to put that under its like term. And so here we have it. Change the signs. Add down. I don't need to bring this down because that's 0. That's already 0. Don't need that. And so I have 5x squared, and I'm going to bring all this down. Plus 0x minus 18. And just never know. You might need it. Okay? And so then we're going to do the same thing. 5x squared over x squared, which is just 5. So looks like I didn't necessarily need it. So plus 5. Alright, and then I'm going to multiply by x squared minus 2. And so we have 5x squared when I distribute, and then minus 10, and we're going to change the signs, and we're going to add down. So these will cancel, that's already 0, and then that gives me negative 8. Okay, and now I have a remainder. So what do I do with the remainder? Well, we turn it into a fraction. So we can either say plus negative 8 over x squared minus 2 or minus 8 over x squared minus 2. And so my answer is x squared plus 5 minus 8 over x squared minus 2. And there is how you do long division of polynomials. All right? Have a great day.